Shinjin Inga. Deep Belief in Cause and Effect by Eihei Dogen from Shobogenzo, the Treasury of the True Dharma I. When Master Eikai, the Zen Master Daichi of Hyakujo, gives his informal preaching, generally present there is an old man. He always listens to the Dharma along with the assembly, and when the people in the assembly retire, the old man also retires. Then suddenly, one day, he does not retire. The master eventually asks him, "What person is this standing before me?" The old man answers, "I am not a person. In the past age of Kasyapa Buddha, I used to preside on this mountain. Once a student asked me, 'Do even people in the state of great practice fall into cause and effect, or not?' I answered, 'They do not fall into cause and effect.' Since then, I have fallen into the body of a wild fox for 500 lives. Now, I beg you, Master, to say for me words of transformation. I long to be rid of the body of a wild fox." Then he asks, "Do even people in the state of great practice fall into cause and effect, or not?" The Master says, "Do not be unclear about cause and effect." The old man, under these words, realizes the great realization. He does prostrations and says, "I am already rid of the body of a wild fox, and would like to remain on the mountain behind this temple. Dare I ask the Master to perform for me the rites for a deceased monk?" The Master orders the supervising monk to strike the block and to tell the assembly, "After the meal, we will see off a deceased monk." All the monks discuss this, saying, "The whole Sangha is well, and there is no sick person in the Nirvana hall. What is the reason for this?" After the meal, the Master is simply seen leading the monks to the foot of a rock on the mountain behind the temple, and picking out a dead fox with a staff. They then cremate it according to the formal method. In the evening, the Master preaches in the hall and discusses the preceding episode. Obaku then asks, "The man in the past answered mistakenly with words of transformation and fell into the body of a wild fox for 500 lives. If he had gone on without making a mistake, what would have become of him?" The Master says, "Step up here, I will tell you." Obaku finally steps up and gives the Master a slap. The Master claps his hands and laughs and says, You have just expressed that a foreigner's beard is red, but it is also a fact that a red beard is a foreigner. This story is in the Tensho Koturoku. Still, people of learning in practice are not clear about the truth of cause and effect, and they make the mistake of idly negating cause and effect. It is pitiful that with a wind of decay blowing all around, the patriarch's truth has slipped into decline. They do not fall into cause and effect, is just the negation of cause and effect, as a result of which the negator falls into bad states. Do not be unclear about cause and effect. Evidently is deep belief in cause and effect, as a result of which the listener gets rid of bad states. We should not wonder at this and should not doubt it. Among people of recent generations who profess to be students of the way of Zen practice, most have negated cause and effect. How do we know that they have negated cause and effect? Namely, because they have considered that do not fall and do not be unclear amount to the same and are not different. Hence, we know that they have negated cause and effect. The 19th Patriarch, the Venerable Kumara Labda, says, in brief, retribution for good and bad has 3 times. Common people only see that to the good comes early death, to the violent long life, to the evil fortune, and to the righteous calamity. Whereupon common people say that cause and effect is non-existent, and that wrongness and happiness are meaningless. Particularly, they do not know that shadow and sound accord with their sources, without a discrepancy of 1,000th or 100th, and even with the passing of 100,000 myriad kalpas, never wearing away. Clearly, we have seen that the ancestral patriarch never negates cause and effect, that present students of later ages do not clarify the ancestral founders' benevolent instruction, is due to negligence in emulating the ancients. Those who are negligent in emulating the ancients and yet randomly call themselves good counselors to human beings and gods are great nuisances to human beings and gods, and are the enemies of practitioners. You people, before and behind me, never preach with the purport of negating cause and effect to junior students and late learners. That is false doctrine. It is not the Dharma of the Buddhist patriarchs at all. It is due to you have fallen into this false view. Patchrobe monks and the like of present-day China often say, though we have received the human body and have met the Buddha Dharma, we do not know even the facts of one life or two lives. The former Hyakujo, who became a wild fox, has been able to know 500 lives. Clearly, he might be beyond falling down as the result of karma. It may be that, even if held by golden chains and black barriers, he does not abide. He goes forward among alien beings and for the present lets the wheel turn. The views and opinions of those who are called great good counselors are like this, but it is difficult to place such views and opinions inside the house of the Buddhist patriarchs. There are those among human beings, or among foxes, or among other beings, who innately possess the power to see a while back into former states. But it is not the seed of clear understanding. It is an effect felt from bad conduct. The world-honored one has broadly expounded this principle for human beings and for gods. Not to know it is the utmost negligence in study. It is pitiful. Even knowing 1,000 lives or 10,000 lives does not always produce the Buddha's teaching. There are non-Buddhists who already know 80,000 kalpas, but their teaching is never esteemed as the Buddha's teaching. To know barely 500 lives is no great ability. The greatest ignorance of recent Zen practitioners of the Sung dynasty lies just in their failure to recognize that not falling into cause and effect is a doctrine of the false view. It is pitiful that in a place where the Tathagata's right Dharma has spread, and while meeting the authentic transmission from patriarch to patriarch, they form wrong groups who negate cause and effect. Zen practitioners should urgently clarify the truth of cause and effect. The truth of the present Hyakujos not being unclear about cause and effect is not to be ignorant of cause and effect. So the principle is evident that if we initiate a cause, we will feel the effect. This may be the assertion of the Buddhas and the patriarchs. As a general rule, before clarifying the Buddha Dharma, do not randomly preach the Dharma to human. The ancestral master Nagarjuna says, if we deny the existence of cause and effect in the world, as do people of non-Buddhism, then there is no present or future, and if we deny the existence of cause and effect beyond the world, then there are no three treasures, four truths, or four effects of a Shramana. Clearly we should know that to deny the existence of cause and effect, whether in the world or beyond the world, must be non-Buddhism. Denial of the present means the physical form exists at this place, but the spiritual essence, since time immemorial, has belonged to the state of enlightenment. The spiritual essence is just the mind, for the mind is not the same as the body. Such understanding is just non-Buddhism. Some say, when human beings die, they unfailingly return to the ocean of spiritual essence. Even if they do not practice and learn the Buddha Dharma, they will naturally return to the ocean of enlightenment, whereupon the wheel of life and death will turn no more. For this reason, there will be no future. This is the nihilist view of non-Buddhism. Even if in form they resemble bhikkhus, those who hold such wrong opinions are not the Buddha's disciples at all. They are just non-Buddhists. In some, because they negate cause and effect, they wrongly opine that the present and the future do not exist. Their negation of cause and effect is the result of failing to learn in practice under a true good counselor. One who has long studied under a true good counselor can never hold wrong opinions, such as the negation of cause and effect. We should profoundly believe in and admire, and should humbly receive upon the head the benevolent instruction of the ancestral master Nagarjuna. Master Genga, the great master Shinkaku of Yoka, is an eminent disciple of Soke. Previously, he has studied the flower of Dharma of the sect, sharing a room with great master Sake Genro. While he is reading the Nirvana Sutra, golden light floods the room, and he attains forever the realization in which there is no birth. He proceeds to visit Soke Mountain and reports his experience to the 6th Patriarch. The 6th Patriarch, in time, gives his seal of approval. Later, Master Genkaku produces the Song of Experiencing the Truth, in which he says, emptiness run wild, negates cause and effect, and in a morass of looseness invites misfortune and mistakes. Clearly we should know the negation of cause and effect is the invitation of misfortune. Past masters in former ages all were clear about cause and effect. Late learners in recent ages all are deluded about cause and effect. But even in the present age, those who, with a dauntless Bodhi mind, learn the Buddha Dharma for the sake of the Buddha Dharma, will be able to clarify effect, as did the masters of the past. To say that there are no causes and no effects is just non-Buddhism. The eternal Buddha, Wan Shi, comments on the aforementioned instance of cause and effect in a eulogy to the ancients as follows: 1 foot of water and a 1 fathom wave. What happened 500 lives ago is of no consequence, even as people discuss not falling and not being unclear. Still, they are forcing themselves into nests of entanglement. Ha, ha, ha. Do you understand or not? If you are free and easy, there is nothing to prevent me going. Ta, ta, wah, wah. Gods sing, spirits dance, and music naturally plays. In between handclaps, a chorus of hoorays. The present words, even as people discuss not falling and not being unclear, still they are forcing themselves into nests of entanglement, just mean that not falling and not being unclear may amount to the same. In short, this instance of cause and effect has not completely expressed the theory thereof. The reason, if asked, is that although one she has manifested before us the shedding of a body of a wild fox, he does not say that the former Hyakujo, after escaping the body of a wild fox, will then be born in the human world. He does not say that the former Hyakujo will be born in the heavens above, and he does not say that the former Hyakujo will be born in any other state. But these are the areas of people's doubt. If he deserves, once rid of the body of a wild fox, to be born in a good state, he will be born in the heavens above or the human world. If he deserves to be born in an evil state, he will be born in a state such as the four evil states. After getting rid of the body of a wild fox, he cannot emptily exist without a place of appearance. The assertions that when living beings die, they return to the ocean of spiritual essence, or that they return to the universal self, are both the views of non-Buddhists. Master Kokugon, the Zen master Engo of Kasan Mountain, in a eulogy to the ancients says, "Fishes swim, and water gets muddy. Birds fly, and feathers fall. The supreme mirror is inescapable. Great space is desolate and wide open. Once a thing has passed, it is utterly distant. 500 lives originate solely from the great practice, that is, cause and effect. A thunderbolt breaks the mountain, and wind shakes the ocean. But pure gold forged 100 times does not change its colour." Even this poem of praise has a tendency towards negation of cause and effect. At the same time, it has a tendency towards the eternity view. Master Soko, the Zen master Dai-e of Kinzan Mountain in Koshu, in a poem of praise says, "Not falling and not being unclear are stones and clods, met along the path by any rice paddy. Having crushed the silver mountain, I clap my hands and laugh, ha ha, in every situation. In Minshu there lived that happy, foolish Buddha. People of the Sung dynasty today consider someone like this to be an instructing patriarch, but the view and understanding of Soko has never arrived. The idea of bestowing the Buddha Dharma through expedience. If anything, he has a tendency towards the view and understanding of naturalism. In all, for this one story, there are eulogies to the ancients and discussions of the ancients by more than 30 people. Not even one of them has suspected that they do not fall into cause and effect, is the negation of cause and effect. It is pitiful that these fellows, without clarifying cause and effect, have uselessly idled away a lifetime in a state of confusion. In learning and practice the Buddha Dharma, the first priority is to cause and effect. Those who negate cause and effect are likely to beget the false view that craves profit and to become a cutter of good roots. In general, the truth of cause and effect is vividly apparent and is not a personal matter. Those who commit evil fall down, and those who practice good rise up, without a thousandth or a hundredth of a discrepancy. If cause and effect perished and became void, Buddhas could not appear in the world, and the ancestral master could not come from the West. In sum, it would be impossible for living beings to meet Buddha and to hear the Dharma. The truth of cause and effect is not understood by the likes of Confucius and Lao Tzu. It is clarified and transmitted only by the Buddhas and the patriarchs. Students in this degenerate age, being of sparse good fortune, do not meet a true teacher and do not hear the right Dharma. And for this reason, they do not clarify cause and effect. If we negate cause and effect as a result of this error, in a morass of looseness, we will suffer misfortune and mistakes. Even before we have committed any evil other than negating cause and effect, the poison of this view, to begin with, will be terrible. Therefore, if people of learning in practice, seeing the Bodhi mind as foremost, wish to repay the vast benevolence of the Buddhist patriarchs, they should swiftly clarify causes and effects. On a day of the summer retreat, in the 7th year of Kencho, I copied this from the master's rough draft. He had yet to reach the stage of an intermediate draft or a fair copy. Doubtless there would have been revisions. Ajo.